we are hopping right on over to some images that I compiled over these last few weeks. Keep in mind, I've been doing nonstop coverage on the Hawaii massacre, the Maui massacre, because they have overplayed their hand. And as my sister reminded me, the script writers are so bad, they need a different plot. They need to go back to script writing school. But you know what? I think they want to rub it in our faces. They are mocking us with their poor acting and their horrible plots, and we are uncovering it. And it's so important that we look at this so that you can continue with your critical thinking skills. I want you to look at this image right now. What do you see in this image that is of note? There are a couple of things that I'm going to point out. And I am going to stay on this story because it is helpful for us to be empowered and educated and knowledgeable so that we can apply these critical thinking skills in all of the other upcoming hogwashing that they're going to be doing. And I also find it helpful, at least for myself, to be surrounded by like-minded people, like my lovely, healthy Americans. I would not be here if it weren't for you. And it's great to know that we can read between the lies and we can connect the clots, as I say, so that we're not sort of worn down by those other friends and family members that can't see what we're seeing. So I think it's important psychologically and morally that we can stick together and say, hey, I'm seeing this, and we can affirm it and validate it. And so many of you are also seeing things that then I am reporting on. I really appreciate the articles, the videos, your insights, and there's so much to cover. I'm doing these days like 2 to 3 videos a day, also on Saturdays. I do strive to take Sunday off, and I've got more and more and more coming. All right, let's look at this image. So I want to see, and here's your chat right here. So I want to see what you have to say. And I'm very grateful for our moderators, grateful for my assistant, Olivia, who keeps fielding all of these emails that you send. And here, this is Josh Green New Deal has a Band-Aid on his right thumb. All right. That's something you may not be able to see on if you're on your phone, but just that's why I'm sharing this. And this was about several months ago when he took office. And this guy behind him, does anybody know who this is? This is a Moroccan. And I lived in Morocco. I'm nothing against Moroccans. I thought it was a very interesting experience I had. I was in the Peace Corps teaching English. But the reason I'm pointing that out is he is not a Hawaiian. And Josh Green New Deal is not a Hawaiian. These are basically outsiders that are calling the shots, so to speak. And this guy, this Moroccan, is in charge of the housing redevelopment for the entire state of Hawaii. I will do a deep dive on this guy coming up. And I'd like to know if you trust these outsiders to have the best concerns at heart for the Hawaiian people. I would like to hear that from you. All right, I just did a video. Hope you'll watch it as well. Preceding this one, you may not be able to see in this image, but he's got a Band-Aid now on his left thumb. So here it is on his right thumb. Some of you said, well, Peggy, he probably is biting his nails. This one is not around his nail. It's around the thumb knuckle. And this one, it's a little hard to make out, but it does look like perhaps it's over the thumb nail. I'm not sure. You'll have to watch this video because this is a staged, false, phony, fraudulent, fake event by these frauds, fakers, phonies, and there's another F word that comes to mind. And this guy was in a completely crushed van or car that was overturned. And the photographer just happened to catch the exact moment when Josh Green New Deal was reaching out his hand. This guy doesn't have a scratch on him, no blood, no nothing. And he's got a little American flag, so you can trust him. He's a patriot. He's got an American flag on his t-shirt. Watch the whole video. I will link it for you. It's in my Maui's. I'll just put this one in the Maui Fire playlist as well. So that's another Band-Aid. Now here's a Band-Aid on his second finger. And this came from the ridiculous coverage where he's wearing his stethoscope. Yeah, one of the Healthy Americans, Timothy, said, hey, Josh, he forgot his stethoscope in this image. Yeah, because, you know, he's a doctor, so he can trust everything he says. There are heroes. Remember in the hospitals, how many people they helped in their own way? Yeah, that's very tragic. So here we go. He's got the Band-Aid on his right index finger. I want to hear from you why you think this is going on. This is when he said that There were no second and third degree burns because there were no survivors. That's how you know it was a natural disaster, because there were no survivors. Oh, so you're telling me other natural disasters like hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and yeah, a lot of the fires, you know what I think about those. You're telling me that the way you know is by the number of survivors? Didn't even make sense. He has to keep saying natural disaster so that he's setting the stage to steal the land from the local people in Lahaina. If it's a natural disaster, my understanding is that he can proclaim, and he's not going to follow the law anyway. He's going to write his own laws saying that the government has the right to steal the land because he said so. He already created a couple of new laws with this fake, phony, fraudulent housing emergency that I've covered in detail. He wrote that emergency a month, actually about 2 to 3 weeks before this happened. All right, here's another image. You can see a little bit better of that Band-Aid around his right index finger. And then this was just a couple of days ago. I have coverage for you as well. And now it's on his right thumb. So we're having the whole musical chairs here. And I want you to look at the color. It's yellow. By the way, a local Hawaiian told me that when they put on these coats, the blazers and everything, the Hawaiians don't trust them. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not Hawaiian. I have so many lovely, healthy Americans. I will share with you in an upcoming video their comments and the emails and the text messages that they've been sending me, and they know what's going on. I am so encouraged that they are standing up and speaking out. So this does not actually promote any kind of trust in the public servant. They don't like that. And you'll notice some of the previous governors and so forth, they weren't wearing these blazers. So it again kind of puts a separation between the people and the serpents, as I call them, public servants. Here's just another view of it. And I'm doing the yellow one because that really caught my eye. And in the previous video, I showed you an image. I don't think it's in this one. I showed you an image of a fellow wearing a black hat with white dots. And I said, keep that in mind because it's going to connect the clots with this next video. So here we are. I'm just going right to it. All right. About a week ago, I did a video about this fake, phony, fraudulent emergency proclamation that he had no authority to call about housing. Now, this pamphlet was when he was running for governor, and he was not very well liked. There was another scheme that they put in the news that there was some kind of anti-Semitism, and he was the victim of people giving him slurs because he's Jewish. And again, I have no idea whether that's right, that was accurate or authentic or staged, but you probably know what I think about it. I'll have to dig deeper on that. But this was when he was running for governor. Now, isn't this interesting? The yellow symbol looks like a Band-Aid to me. This looks like two Band-Aids crossing over. And look at all the dots. Let's connect the clots, shall we? And a healthy American added those all up for me and told me it was of significance. I don't have time to do that right now, but I believe that this is his symbolism, maybe only for himself, that he will remember why he is decimating this state, why he is standing by and watching the disaster unfold without allowing or without acknowledging or even giving any sense of remorse, like, wow, we fell asleep at the wheel. That's what I can't stand about these serpents. They don't even take responsibility. So I believe that the Band-Aid on Josh Green, here's the green, do deal, is his symbolism. Remember, friends, the serpents, the evil doers, the WEFers, the New World Disorder, the bad guys, the puppet masters, they communicate with signs and symbols. Maybe this is a symbol to his overlords saying, I'm on board. You've got me under your thumb. I am going to push ahead this housing. That to me is how I connected the clots. Here's a Band-Aid, a yellow Band-Aid. Here's a yellow Band-Aid that he has been pushing for a long, long time. He made no bones about it that he was going to issue an emergency proclamation his first day in office. He did several of them, culminating in July, a couple of weeks before this other massacre, creating this completely illegitimate housing group that suspended laws and is working outside of the legislature. I've got deep dives on all of this. I think it's reprehensible. And if this has nothing to do with the housing and the New World disorder and his sending the symbol to his overlords that he's on board, then maybe he just is a complete bumbling fool that should not be using kitchen knives. And if he's carrying some kind of disease, I don't want him anywhere near me anyway. So what say you? We're just going to finish off with this despicable photo. I just can't stand looking at this. I won't make you be subjected to it for too long. Here's the other fake, phony, fraudulent faker. And here's the other one. And this is like so weird and gross and despicable and fawning and sycophantic and just sick. Hey, Daddy, we're doing it. We're recreating. We're building back better. All right, I'm going to come off that photo because it's so disgusting. I'll take a look at your comments, everybody. You know, I am going to, gosh, I think I'm going to wrap up for today. I may upload some videos that are downloads and uploads from some of the news organizations with the Maui mayor reading off a script, still no apology, still no accepting responsibility. And then I also want to upload the Hawaiian voices where you will be able to hear what happened in the Maui County Council meeting, which was held today. I'll try to edit that a little bit for you so it's not too long. It'll probably be about 30 minutes and I'll just let it run without any commentary. Some of you just wanted to hear the news without my analysis, and then I will be in the chat with you and I can still comment that way. All right, friends, signing out for now. Really appreciate you, all of your support, your encouragement, and your smart, and I'm not going to use that word anymore, smart, because that's the smart cities. Your intelligent, sophisticated, supportive comments, and of course, delivered with a little snark just when called for. Let's say goodbye to this guy once and for all, shall we? Here we go. See you soon, everybody.